Shop smart, shop S-Mart.
Seems that envy is my sin.
Oh, what's in the box? What's in the fucking box?
What's up, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of What's in the Box. I am your host, DeathMetalHero, and with me is an old friend, Sweetcast. Hey. How's it going, Clint? Good to see you, man.
Good, how you doing? I gotta apologize to the audience, too. My camera, I got it was not working, got it working, so we're just a peppermint candy today, but I am here, and I'm happy to be here.
I appreciate you being here. I can still hear you. You sound fine, so we can still have a conversation. It's like talking through a phone, you know?
Yeah.
Before we had this newfangled video.
Yeah.
But yeah. But yeah, man, it's been a while. The last time I had you on the show was for Downcast, and you've been just kind of going crazy since then. You've been working hard, man. What you been up to?
I've been really busy. Like, full disclosure, I got a new day job a year ago.
Oh, wow.
just over a year ago, and it has been night and day difference. Like, I've been really busy. Yeah, it's been, so I've kind of like, for comics, I'm like, okay, what is most important to me? And I've been,
right. And
that's making comics. I don't know if that was great for sales numbers. Because YouTube has suffered for that, but it's been it's actually been really, really good for me. It's been a blast. So
I'm happy to hear that, man. I mean, I know sometimes it's not easy to juggle the whole like YouTube thing and then have a full-time job, but I mean, the full-time job pays the bills, and then you work on your comic on in the free time. Yep. Like the comic is the important thing, you know. The YouTube is kind of just a means to an end. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, you do what works for you, man, and that's where it's at. So the book that I got obviously is Dracula, and it came in this fucking awesome this awesome black box, which we're going to talk about. But you've been putting out Downcast through Alterna, right?
Yeah.
Like you took the book that you made, you crowdfunded, and then you divided it up into single issues, and you've been putting it out through Alterna.
Yeah. So it's kind of like a flipped model. So yeah, publishing the trade first, and it's like an adjusted trade. They've been getting a little bit longer, and this next one's going to be a little bit longer than the last one. But
right.
It's still like, 3 issues, and with this one, the 3rd issue is going to be oversized, and that'll make up like the trade, and then and then single issues through Alterna. So it's been really interesting to see, kind of just flipping the comic publishing norm on its head,
right?
And it's been good so far. I can't complain.
Well, see, Brian Pulido, creator of Lady Death, that's what he does. He does a prestige format. He does the big crowdfunded version with all the extra tchotchkes and the cards and all the extra stuff, the extra accoutrement that everybody loves, right?
Yeah.
And then he takes the 48 pager and he breaks it up into 2, and then he puts it out through previews. He publishes it himself. But I mean, you got Pete handling that, with Alterna, so that's fantastic.
Yeah,
I love their books, man. He's been doing some good stuff, and Pete's a hell of a fun guy to talk to. He's a nice dude.
100%. Yeah. It's cool. I mean, it's fun to see. It's just 2 total ends of the spectrum, because you're doing the prestige format that's like really kind of ridiculously thick paper in some cases.
Right.
Like for Downcast 1 and 2, I'm like, why did I pick 100-pound paper stock? It's so
because
thick.
It feels good in the hand. It's not going to tear. It's a solid book, man.
Yeah, and if someone breaks in your home, you could use it as a weapon.
Pump. Yeah.
So that's fun. But then seeing it come out in newsprint, which for some people, many people, is actually the prestige format. Like, you love, a lot of people just love newsprint. And
the way it smells, the way it feels. Yeah.
Yeah, for different, there's no glare. That's one thing that I'd never overlook, which is nice. So yeah, I love it. I love having the different versions.
Yeah.
Hey, Flying Feline.
Skull Flying Feline, good to see you. Thank you for coming to hang out, beautiful. So I actually wanted to ask you the colors. You set up the colors for the book for the prestige format, like the heavy paper stock and whatnot.
Yeah.
Did you have to adjust it for the newsprint?
So Peter does the pre-press for the newsprint, but as much as I know, he does bump up the saturation, so it's more saturated, and you can kind of, I can tell especially when I look at them next to each other, so you can tell it's more saturated, but it kind of gives it more of that classic comic book newsprint look as well. So I think that's definitely part of the aesthetic. But yeah, I wouldn't know exactly what he does. Trade secret, I suppose.
Yeah, well, he's got to have something, man.
Yeah,
but I figured there had to be a slight adjustment, because if you look at the reprints of like some of the classic comics that were originally on newsprint, when they reprint them, they don't even think about that, and the colors are just overblown.
Yeah,
and they're overdone because they were meant for newsprint. They weren't meant for like nice white paper.
Yeah.
So that's been one of the things that's been in the back of my mind since I saw that you were publishing Downcast through Alterna. I was like, oh, cool. There's got to be a little bit of a process. So that's very cool. And I wonder if they could take like. I don't know, some of those classic things and put like a sheen of like newsprint look underneath it, and then print it that way. Just print the paper and make it just look like newsprint underneath, and then print the colors that way and see if that would fix the problem with the reprints. But I've got my classics, so I guess I don't need the reprints. But it was always one of those things that stuck in my head. It's
one of the things that you'd think that they could figure it out a little bit better.
Right.
And not all of them are bad. Like the reprints of some look good. Others look horrendous. And I'm like, how on earth did this happen?
How did this get past editorial? Nobody look at this? They just, it's fine. It's just a reprint. Who cares?
Yeah.
It makes you wonder. So are you reading anything right now? Like, is there anything coming out in the sphere, indie or otherwise, that you're digging?
Yeah, so I try to have some connection, albeit very loose, to mainstream comics. So I always try to have something that I'm getting. I finished The Last Ronin, which was super fun. And
it's
then,
Kevin Eastman,
Yeah. So now I'm actually reading the new Alien series, and
cool.
I've got issue 2, but I haven't read it yet. I just have read the first one, so. Nice. I'm not far enough into it to know, but I'm like, there's just so many great Aliens comics that, I don't know, just it looked fun. The covers were amazing. All the covers I saw were great.
Oh, yeah, they went all out with the covers. Yeah, definitely.
Super good stuff. Then with indie comics, I'm catching up. I have such a too big to read pile, but I read Expendables Go to Hell, finally.
Nice.
That was fun. I enjoyed it.
I missed out on that one.
Yeah,
excellent.
Yeah, that was a fun one.
I mean, that's your boy Zach and Chuck Dixon. So I mean, that's got to be a fun romp.
I always have a fun time reading Chuck Dixon because I had him on once for an interview, and he said that
Chuck's great.
He's so great, but it was cool because we were talking about like from a writing angle. He's a plot-driven writer, and I got super excited because I'm a plot-driven writer, and it's very hard for me to be. I don't know. I just don't think it's my strong suit to be a character-driven writer, and so it was just fun to talk to him. And I was thinking, there's plot-driven writing is awesome, and so talking with him, it was just fun. So I always have that kind of connection. And then when I read his stuff, I always know that he's got a plan for everything, because that's how he works. So it was really fun.
And his ear for dialogue. Like the dialogue that comes out of each character's mouth is uniquely theirs. You know what I mean? Everything that I read a novel that he did called Blooded. I got it on Audible because that's the only way I can actually get novels in anymore. Because comics you actually have to look at them; they're a visual medium. But audiobooks I can listen to while I'm washing the dishes, doing mowing the lawn,
totally,
driving to work, whatever. But yeah, I listened to Blooded and I really enjoyed it. And they're just distinct characters. That's the thing that always stands out to me about Chuck's books, is that each character sounds like a unique person and not just like carbon copies of, you know, the other guy down the hall.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
He also kind of made me realize, you know, in comics, especially I think of like Jack Kirby or like, you know, drawing comics the Marvel way, you'll see... like you want to exaggerate it, so it's larger than life.
Yes.
When someone's getting punched in the face, they are really like twisting around, and you know
You
punch
feel it.
Yeah, with Chuck Dixon's writing, especially with dialogue, depending on what he's writing, he'll turn it up to that kind of extreme comic booky level. And so another thing I learned from him is like, as a writer, if you're writing a comic that's supposed to be larger than life comic, lean into it, you know, exaggerate the way that they talk too. So he's fantastic. What a legend.
Yeah, oh, definitely. He was one of my first interviews when I was doing interviews at MegaCon for last Wednesday, way back in the day.
Oh, nice.
Oh yeah. Walked up to his table. I was like, oh shit, I know that name. I know Chuck Dixon's name. I'm going to go up and talk to him. And we start chatting and whatnot. Turns out he was an ice cream truck driver as well. That's one of the things I did for work back in the day. So we start talking about like selling ice cream to kids and like getting like the last little bit of pennies out of them. So yeah, Chuck is great, man. He's such a down-to-earth individual, and he really loves what he does. You can tell that he enjoys writing. You can tell that he enjoys making stories. You know, and that's the kind of person I want to support. That's the kind of person that I want to, you know, that's the kind of stuff I want to read. Somebody that's actually having fun with this shit. You know what I mean?
Totally, yeah. Yeah, it translates.
Welcome, Edwin. Welcome, Hockey. And welcome, 80s Made Consumer. Welcome, guys. Thank you for coming to hang out. Appreciate you being here. Yeah, I actually just got Dr. Alpha from Literature Devil in, and I've been digging that so far as well. I got Fiendish. I got to finish Doc Alpha so I can then read Fiendish, so I can know what I'm talking about with that. I mean, so I'm slowly but surely working through my my pile as well. In fact, this box is part of a larger pile. I don't know if you guys can see it back there. I've got a large pile of...
It's like you're running a small post office back there.
Yeah, but it's a stack of stuff that I've gotten from people, and I've reached out to see if, you know, have them come on and hang out, because I feel like this is important for people to see, especially if they're, I don't know, possibly trepidatious about backing something, you know, because obviously the person that I have on has fulfilled something, and you get to see the quality in hand, you get to hear the creator's story about it, and you get to hear about what they got coming up next, you know. So I mean, that's why I like doing this show, just to give people an opportunity to, you know, feel more confident when backing like the next project from this creator, because they may have missed the one before, you know, because that happens. Totally. Sometimes you miss campaigns and you're like, oh shit, you know.
Yeah.
Like I missed Starlight Cats from Shane Davis, so I'm glad that he had it available in the last Inglorious Rex campaign. And that's one of the boxes I got back there. So hopefully we'll have Shane come hang out. But if not, you know, I'll do a massive unboxing of all the stuff that I have. But
nice.
Anything that you've gotten recently that you've been really excited about, like just.
So actually, Spencer Desmond, I need
to reach out to Spence.
You should get, I think you guys would get along.
Oh dude, I love Spence.
Yeah. Okay. I'm like, I don't know if
he's an old school dude. Like I've hung out with him like on Fraga's old channel, the Couch Doodles channel. Yeah, he used to come and hang out all the time, man. Yeah, I miss talking to Spence. I haven't gotten a chance to hang out with him in a while, so.
Yeah, I streamed with him. It was a week before Halloween, I think. We did a draw stream. And
nice.
And I've been streaming, you know, I've been on kind of the Alterna fall campaign circuit as well this month. And so we've been streaming a bit. And I met him in person in Boston, and he's got awesome. His little publishing company he's doing. I wish my camera was working because I want to show you these, but the Death Curse comic books. Mm-hmm. He's got Return to Camp Rainbow, which has one of the best horror designs I've seen, like this Bane, ball-headed character with this happy face. City of Rot, that's one, man.
City of Rot is the one I backed, and I'm super excited about.
Yeah, it's so cool to just see this in person, because I just remember when he launched it, and it was I know it was a slog to get the book done for a lot of reasons, but I just love to have these in hand. So I'm really excited for Spencer and the stuff he's putting out.
Oh hell yeah, they're working hard over there. I remember talking to him a little bit before, after he launched City of Rot, and just all the different stuff that he was doing with the Patreon and stuff like that. I mean, I'm so excited to see, like, I don't know, like we were talking backstage, this scene has changed, and it's grown. That's what I mean by changed. It has grown. Like, and people that the people that I used to get to talk to a lot more often, like our boy Donald, who did the artwork for the book here. I used to get to talk to Donald all the time. I used to get to talk to Spencer all the time. But I mean, these people are busy now because they're working hard. They're making shit, and that's the difference between the scene back then and the scene now. It was kind of like a hobby-ish scene, I guess. But now this is business. Like, people are. This is an industry. Like, we are indie comics over here. We're not just fucking around. You know what I mean? This is indie comics. This is a real deal, and people are working hard and putting blood, sweat, and tears into this stuff, man. And it means something to them. Yeah. I got Tropical Magics from my boy Pedro Ang, and that he worked his ass off to get that book out. So I'm looking forward to reading that one as well. But nice. I love how much this scene has grown.
Yeah, it's. I think you're right. There's like this maturity level that has kind of set in, and I think it's just out of necessity. There are a lot of comic books out there, and I think there are enough really good ones too that you are just as a reader, you're gonna be able to find tons of great books, and so to stand out, it's like, well. We wanted to get a lot of attention on our books, but at the same time, now it's like you can get an edge if you have your business end down, production and all that stuff, and that's not easy.
No, it's not.
So it's just, I don't know. It's interesting to see how it's growing, but it definitely has changed, and even just for me. I've obviously changed. As far as I'm not making video content like I used to. Yeah.
Well, I mean, that was the thing when we all started. Like, you had to make content, and that in and of itself is to kind of give the audience an idea of who you are as a creator more than anything else, I feel. Because doing this indie comics thing is we're selling ourselves as a brand. Your product is the comic book, but the brand is you. And you making videos shows people who you are. They get to know you through your videos. They get to know you through your live streams. I mean, that's why I do these live streams. But you can't be fake when you're doing this, and because you are your brand, and being able to make content that people watch, and people get to know you, and then they see the book that you put out. They're like, oh, well, I know this person. I kind of know what this person's all about. Let's see what their book is about. I feel like that's part of building an audience. Not the only part of building an audience, obviously, but I feel like that is definitely part of building an audience, the rapport between creator and, audience.
Totally. Yeah.
What's up, some person? Well,
there's less appetite too for video. Like, it used to be, I think, a lot easier when I started with YouTube to just say, I'm going to see what kind of weird comics controversies in the news, and I'm going to talk about it. Those videos became more and more difficult to get eyeballs on, and I think it's because people got tired of it.
Exactly, my friend. Exactly.
Yeah. So now it's,
by the way, hello, Salazar Art Nation. Good to see you, man. Wherever you are at. But yeah, you're exactly right, man. People get exhausted with that stuff. Like, because how many videos can you make complaining about things? Like, listening to somebody complain gets old real quick.
Yeah.
Listening to somebody talk about how excited they are about this thing or that thing or creating this or making that, that's something I can get behind. Creativity.
Totally.
That's what I look for, you know, in a YouTube channel. I mean, I'll be honest, I watch live streams for you know, the creators that I like, my friends and whatnot, because I want to be there to support them, you know, but I watch a lot of the YouTube I watch is about making things. It's about creating things. I don't go for the, oh, let's talk about this new outrage. Really? Because, you know, I can go dumpster dive in Twitter for that garbage. I don't need that. I want escapism. That's why totally. I think the difference, and I can only speak for myself, but sure.
I think for me at the beginning, when I was making YouTube's videos about your boy Zach and Mark Wade and all that kind of stuff, I had something to say, you know.
Absolutely.
and I you know, I really wanted to say it.
Well, it needed to be said back then too.
It did, yeah. Now it's like, you know, I could be upset about The Little Mermaid or like any number of things, but I just don't care. I don't think,
exactly.
You know, it's just not the same, same thing. So
no.
I think people are feeling that too. And so, it makes sense that there's a lot of sort of pivoting going on, and that's how, you know, you got to keep people interested in what they're here for. Yeah. And ultimately that's comics.
Exactly. They're here for comics and entertainment. You know, the YouTube branch of your brand is kind of like your entertainment brand. You know, that's where you put your trailers up. You know, this is where you interact with your audience. You do your live streams and whatnot. But the comic, you know, that's your product. So, I mean, at least that's how I look at it. You know, my totally. YouTube channel is kind of an extension of all the shit that I'm into. You know, I like talking to other creators. I love talking about comics and creation and story and, you know, what it takes to actually make these books and get them out to the consumer. So that's why I do these shows. I love art. That's why I do Topic List with Jason Bascom, you know, drawing and, you know, we talk stuff there. But just outrage and all that stuff, it gets old, you know. And I don't know, I'd much rather create something than complain about, you know, them not making something for me or whatever. I mean, I worked in a comic shop for 7 years. It was my childhood comic shop. I loved being there. I loved talking to my customers. That's part of the reason, another reason why I do this, because I love talking nerd stuff. You know? You know, because it's fun to go into a comic shop and just, you know, talk about this and that, and character would win this fight or whatever. But I watched the stories degrade and go down over time, and the artwork degrade, and the subscriptions just go down and down and down and get cut off. And it's just, I watched the industry kind of implode and turn into this fetid pile of whatever it is now. I don't know, man. And I lost interest. It got harder and harder and harder to recommend books to people while in the shop. I mean, my pull list was majority, you know, stuff coming out from smaller publishers, and, you know, Image and Dark Horse and what was it, Source Point, I think, were the three that I got the most books from. But, you know, it got harder and harder to recommend stuff to people because it wasn't good. And I can't rightly tell somebody, hey, you should check this book out, when I know blatantly that it's garbage, and I wouldn't spend my money on it, so I'm not going to ask you to spend your money on it. You know?
Totally. It's like,
what's up, Brian?
You can only I don't know, especially with comics, it's like they're supposed to be fun. I can't I can't waste my time reading ones I don't like.
Life is too short to read shitty comics.
Yes.
You know? I mean, that's the way I look at it. You know, it's just too short to read shitty comics. So you might as well find stuff that you're actually engaged in, and stories that are made by people that are passionate about those stories.
Absolutely. Brian Christgau. Hey.
Good person there.
Welcome
Love
to the
that
channel.
dude.
Me too. It's a good cat.
Brian's good peeps. Brian, I gotta have you come hang out at some point. I don't know what for, but we'll have you come hang out and we'll talk story, something like that. I don't know. Brian's good peeps. So, getting to Dracula. Tell me a little bit about this. Like, what I know that you have kind of a personal connection to this character.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, having my last name be Stoker, I've heard it so many times growing up.
Right.
Especially junior high. I remember there was one point when we had a list of books we could pick through to do our book reports on.
Right.
And, I was at the age where Dracula, Frankenstein, The Invisible Man, all those sort of classic monster stories were on the list. And so that was the first one that I went for. And, people would always, sometimes people would call me Bram growing up, things like that. So it's been this thing that's been out there. But, and more recently, since I've been making comics, it comes up. So I thought, well, if I did this and I took it seriously for a moment, and I got really, for me, I did some stuff really outside of my wheelhouse for it because I thought, it's horror. Anything can happen in a horror. They don't need to end with a happy ending.
Right.
And so it was, for me, just totally fun to experiment and do something completely different from what you'd normally see from me. So it was fun.
That's part of it, man. You that's the beauty of being an independent creator. You get to work on the stuff that you actually want to work on.
Yeah.
You get to try new things.
Yeah.
Some person wants to know, were all the goth girls hitting on you?
No. It was
not quite how that works.
It was me. Yeah. Like, oh, you're Brahm, huh? No.
Oh, Stoker, huh? Okay.
But the funny thing is, people would always say, "Are you related?" And I would say, "No." That was my assumption. And when I actually looked into it, I'm like, "Oh my, I actually am related." So that's actually pretty cool,
There you go, man. That's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, so you have a personal connection to this character, not just because it was one of the first like monster stories that you read, but because like this is legit your family, heritage, for lack of a better term.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's so weird because everyone knows Dracula. Like I can't think of a more famous character in literature.
Oh yeah.
Like he's just so famous. Everyone knows who Dracula is. So that part of it was like intimidating. Really thinking about, if I do a Dracula, what would I do? That's like
right.
But
that's awesome. What's up, Gordon? Good brother.
Yeah. So it was fun. Why? It's like one of those like, why not? Why can't I?
Exactly. Might as well. I mean, let's see, where is missing my knife. Uh-oh. I guess I'll have to use a different knife. Oh well. Okay. So, I'm going to flip the camera and you go ahead and tell them what makes this story of Dracula different as I unbox.
Yeah. So, this is it's a modern take on Dracula. You could consider it an Elseworld Dracula. It's basically what if Dracula was alive today. And I really, when I got thinking about Dracula and what kind of person he was for the time, I think of him just being somebody with extreme power, and yet you don't know much about him. And so immediately I started thinking of Jeffrey Epstein, especially because Jeffrey Epstein was in the news so much. Yeah, he's a predator. He's very wealthy, but he's also a mystery, or at the time, like he was very much a mystery.
He was.
I mean, he kind of still is. Like, does anybody really know how he made money? So it's just this big gray area,
Right.
So that was part of it.
This box.
Yeah, we got to talk about the box real quick.
Yeah, we got to talk about the box. But finish your story. Finish your story.
Yeah, well, I was just saying that, I just started basing the character off of a Jeffrey Epstein-like person. Obviously, he's into drinking blood, though. There's that difference.
Right. Nice.
So yeah, there's Donald DeLay working with him has been fantastic. Part of it was,
Hell
I
yeah.
looked at those old, what are they called, wood block paintings of Vlad the Impaler.
Oh yeah.
And it's cartoony, and that's what's so creepy about it. And so I thought, Donald DeLay.
Exaggerated. Yep.
Yes.
Oh,
like
yeah.
that's what I want is Donald DeLay doing it. So it has, I think that
up,
that kind of mix of cartoony stylization, but it's off-putting. So yeah. So
it's enough to disturb you. Yeah.
Absolutely. So anyway, it was a lot of fun. I worked with a lot of talented people on it, and experimented with it a ton too, because this was my first. Hey, I'm going to do a horror. It's sort of a slow burn horror. That's what Dracula is. You know what I mean? So
Yes, it
I kind of
is.
wanted to
It
go along with
totally
that
is.
theme. So
Yeah. All right.
yeah.
So
the
this black box.
Yeah.
I love this black box, man. This showed up in the mail. And I was like, "What the hell?" And then I flipped it over, and I saw your name. I was like, "I know what this is." Oh shit! So I got wicked excited.
This is the first black box opening I've seen too. I was kept hoping someone would say something on Twitter or elsewhere, but nothing. And yeah, it was just
it's
for
even
the
black on the inside. Wow, look at that.
yeah. The
That
collector's
is
bundle.
rad.
The only people getting black boxes, but I think this just the package was so perfect
Oh man,
for
look
October.
at this. See this? See this, guys? Look at this presentation. Ha! Love these stickers, man.
Yeah.
This is beautiful presentation, man. Beautiful presentation.
I'm glad it showed up in one shape.
Oh yeah, dude, the box protected it beautifully. And look at the T-shirt. Oh yes. By the way, I don't know if I got a chance to tell you, but my Fatal T-shirt with Charlie Snogan's artwork on it, that is one of my favorite fucking T-shirts that I own. Just saying.
Love it.
Yeah, so I am super excited to add this to my collection of T-shirts.
Cool. I love it.
Logo,
you're the one that suggested to make a T-shirt of that image from Fatal.
That's that's right. That bottom panel there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude,
When you
it's a
said that,
great
I was
shirt.
like,
I love it.
oh, you're right. I have to do that. So
That is such a badass image, and it tells so much about the character without saying a fucking word.
yeah.
Like there's so much mood in that picture. Anyway, we'll talk about that later. But yeah, man, I'm looking forward to that book as well. But I love this package presentation. This is great, man. The orange bubble wrap. No, this is a perfect October. Is this a wax pack?
Wax pack. Yeah.
Oh, dude, for real? I love it.
So
You have been talking to Spencer.
Yes, that's exactly. He did a few for me. That's an understatement. He did a lot of wax packs for me. This one, I thought I'm gonna try and seal my own at home. I just want to.
I almost don't want to open it.
I know that.
I almost don't want to open it because it's a sealed wax pack.
Yeah, if you open it carefully, you might be able to reseal it. I know there are people.
Ain't no resealing up in this house. I open something, it stays open.
Yeah. But wax packs, fun touch. People love those things.
Oh, dude, it's because it harkens back to childhood. It harkens back to the old days when you get a wax pack of cards and a stick of fucking awful goddamn gum.
Yeah.
Just like, how does this actually... Oh, wait, it eventually turns into gum with absolutely no flavor, but yeah, it's gum.
Yeah.
Skewered. Let's see, quick, how does the merch smell?
Waxy.
Like merch? Doesn't really smell like anything.
It's usually
the
the
shirt
book
smells like a
itself.
shirt. Yeah.
Yeah.
But... thing out of here. Was doing some inking earlier today. All right, let's open this box or this bag. Hang on. I like the bags that you put them in. They're sturdy.
Yeah. Those bags. They were the very first bags I bought for Downcast 1. And they're just the right size. You have to tape them over on the side, but they're the right size that it's flexible. So like if you have a big stack of books, it'll work. If you have one book, it'll work. And you just make for a nice presentation.
Well, and they also feel sturdy. They feel like, you know, they don't feel like they're going to tear.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. Oh, man, look at those. Oh, dude, these are beautiful, dude.
Yeah, nice.
These
nice
hardcovers
books.
turned out great.
I know. It's like how fortunate. Eric Canetti did the cover on the left. Kelsey Shannon the cover on the right. They're just both killer covers.
And now you guys see why I had to get both. Why I had to get this collector's box, because there was a T-shirt as well. So,
yeah.
I love it, man.
They turned out just so nice.
Bram Stoker's lineage comes back to bite. Clint Stoker, Bram Stoker's distant relative, teams up with artist Donald DeLay to pay tribute to the greatest horror of all time. Nice. In a modern America, new lawyer John Harker celebrates his engagement when he is contacted by his soon-to-be brother-in-law who has witnessed something truly horrific. While working for Dracula's empire, when Harker agrees to help, he is pulled into the strange and secretive world of the most powerful man nobody knows. Dracula.
You're really good at that voice.
Oh, dude, thank you. I actually just did a voiceover for Luke Stone. His new trailer.
Oh, really?
Is it's me for the soldier and for the demon.
Oh, that's cool. I gotta watch that video now. That's awesome.
Thanks, man. Yeah, I did the voiceover for the Frog G trailer as well.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. And I got another project that I did with Pedro Ang that will be coming out later. Don't know that I can say anything about it just yet. I love the chromium on this card, man.
I do. Those cards.
That was a good one to choose for the chromium.
Yeah, his wine glass. I thought that's gonna work. I knew I could do them. I didn't know how expensive they'd be. They were kind of expensive to make.
Oh, I don't doubt, man.
But they just turned
pretty.
out. Yeah, it turned out great. They also had like when you were ordering them, you could mask out areas you didn't want to be foil. And I kept thinking, well, what do I want to be foil? I'm like, I don't know. I want the whole thing to be foil. I'm not masking anything, you know.
Right.
So yeah, I loved how those turned out. They're so cool.
The colors really pop. I mean, Kelsey knocked it out of the park on that cover, but you know that's Kelsey. He's wicked good.
Yeah, fantastic. Yeah. I think that is one of the best covers he's ever done. I think, which is saying something because he's done a lot of great covers.
He has indeed. I mean, the body language on the hand right here, and just the shoulders. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of story right there in that one image.
Yeah, absolutely. That's
and a bookmark.
Yeah, Henry Ponciano. He's the artist on Tinseltown through Alterna Comics.
Nice.
And so he did the whole trading card set for me, and I made one of those into the bookmark here, which is I just love that trading card. I think it's hard to say. I think this was my favorite one, so I picked that for the bookmark as well.
Dude, I love the extra stuff, man. Like I said, the cards they're such a part of, like, you know, my childhood, like getting the cards and opening the packs. Like my dad and I used to get you know, the boxes of cards, and we'd get an entire box, and then we'd open them up and we'd see if we could get all the chase cards and whatnot, right? And I love the fact that so many of you nerds out there that are creators do cards, you know, and some of them even do like the I'm really curious as to what's in that wax pack now. Anyway, and they do the cards with like the stats on the back, like the old Marvel Universe cards and whatnot. Yeah. It just shows me that I am amongst my people. I am amongst people that, you know, kind of had the same, I don't know, the same geeky upbringing, for lack of a better term. You know, they enjoyed the same kind of things, and it's I don't know, it's such a blast of nostalgia, but at the same time, so fucking cool to see new shit done like that, because the card market just disappeared around like the early 2000s. Yeah. Like 2000, cards were done. dead, man. So I love seeing chromium stuff like this. I love it, man. Just, it's the same thing with the shirts. I love being able to sport the stuff that I enjoy, and the cards, the bookmarks, the stickers, the T-shirts, that's all part of it, Absolutely. I mean, I've still got binders upon binders of cards, man.
I never thought I'd be starting a trading card binder, but I have to, because there's sketch cards. You're getting original art too. It's just
dude,
so many great. It's really fun too. And you flip through and look at all these great cards. It's like, wow, there's so many.
All right, I'm gonna open this wax pack. I'm gonna do it gently because I'm gonna save the package as well. But dude, so cool.
See if it works.
I remember getting like Batman Returns cards back in. You know what? Where's my knife? I remember getting Batman Returns cards back in the day. You know what I mean? And they had the wax pack and the gum, and oh my god, that gum was terrible.
Yeah, I went to our local comic shop, it was probably a year ago, and they had some really old Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle cards and in wax packs, and they bought them from somewhere and they were selling them. And I was like, oh my gosh, they were cheap too. They were like 50 cents. So I bought two of them, one for me and one for my son, and he was like, oh, can I eat this gum? I'm like, you could, but
maybe. I mean, if you start turning green, please spit it out.
Yeah, can you eat the carpet, I guess, too? That's
I mean, it's probably about the sum of it. It's probably like carpet glue by that point.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to eat it.
Oh, these cards turned out great, man.
Yeah.
I love the matte finish on them.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm always like debating matte or gloss, and I kind of mix up between the two. I think I like
the matte finish. Really, it actually kind of works for the cards and the art style, because you got the chromium here, so you got that one flashy. It's like a chase card.
Yeah.
But then you have these, and the regular set is matte. I think the matte works really well. Actually. Yeah.
And this look at that. The trading card set. The guidance I gave Henry is that, hey, since this is modern day Dracula, we're going to assume he's survived, all the way since his birth,
Right.
And so I want you to do Dracula's through history. So he's got the COVID version there with the masks. He's got the Industrial Revolution's the one right next to it. That's another one that I just love.
That is a cool picture.
1930s gangster Dracula is that next one with the Gothic building there.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I can see it because he's got the fedora and the pinstripe suit.
Yeah. And then the one on the right there is, I guess, sort of the original Dracula, where he's got, people up on pikes there in the background.
Dude, I love it. I love it. Okay. So each one of these is telling a different story of a different Dracula.
Yeah, different era
throughout his life.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's fucking rad, man! I love that. See, even in the cards, you're storytelling.
Thanks. Yeah,
I love it.
Yeah, Henry he killed it. Like it was such a loose description, and then he, kind of went through and picked points, and just any one of those could be a great cover too. So killer job.
Definitely. Love it. Let's see. Art in Times of J. Ryan says, saying that Kelsey is incredible is an understatement. Kelsey always impresses. Yes, he's pretty damn badass. He knows how to do some good comic booking, as he likes to say.
True.
Yeah. Those are fire, says Feline. Yes, indeed.
Thank you.
Yes, indeed. All right, I gotta crack open the book and take a look at it. I don't want to. Oh, and it's signed. Oh, I love it because don't take that for granted anymore, folks. Not all books are signed anymore.
Yeah,
that's one of the things I've noticed about the scene is that people realized it's kind of a logistical pain in the ass to sign every one of these books, especially if you end up with 500, 600, 700 orders.
Yeah, Yeah, Fatals were over 2,000 orders. We're thinking about that. I'm like, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
It's gonna be insane. But I don't know. At the end of the day, I kept thinking, I didn't tell people these were gonna be signed, did I? And the more I think about it, I'm like, I need to sign them.
Dude, I'm super happy that you did. Thank you. I appreciate it.
No problem. Yeah, I think it's just one of those things. Like, they're in my hands. I gotta sign them. So
that I'm seeing that in and of itself shows dedication to your book. You want to do something nice for your customers. You appreciate them, so you show it.
Totally. Yeah, and this is one too that it's been humbling to see people support this, because it's very different from anything I've done. It's black and white. It's elephant in the room is I have a very late book, and people still came out to support this, and so that it just makes me feel so good. People were there to support it.
Being transparent, you've been transparent about what's going on. You've talked about it. You're not trying to hide away. You're not trying to disappear or anything like that. This is what's going on. This is what we're dealing with, and I feel fairly confident that most people in this scene understand that life happens. Life comes first. You gotta. Yes, people gave you money for a book that is late. That you're not shirking that.
Yeah.
You are still in the process of making that book, but I mean you can't get blood from a stone. If shit's going on, shit's going on. And that your artist is committed to finishing the book, so there you go.
And in fact, he is. He's
there
finished.
You go. See,
he's
now.
Finished. So yeah, I mean
yes. Oh my god. Fuck yes.
Yeah, it is. I've been staying up late every night preparing it, but
Dude, that makes me so happy.
It's going to print. I want it all to go to print before December. And that's totally reasonable too, I think. So.
Okay, well, just don't. I mean, you've waited this long. Don't rush anything. Make sure it's the book that you want to put out. What is? I know I'm going to butcher this quote, but there's a quote by Miyamoto, the guy that created Mario, about the head of Nintendo, about making a game, and a late game comes out eventually, but a bad game is out there permanently, or something like that. Don't put a bad product out. If it takes a little bit more time to refine it, then do that, and that way you put something out that you're proud of.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, and this is one of those things that Gordon Goodbrother, I see it. No lettering in the artist edition. I brought that up, but we sold it on no lettering, so we're gonna stick to our word. Maybe someday we'll do a black and white version for people that really want it, but yeah, I mean I'm all about the black and white versions, so you got one customer already. Yeah,
anyway.
I know there are a few of them out there, but yeah, especially with Charlie's artwork, man, he's just he's
Charlie's
amazing.
See, there's another dude that I miss. I used to get to hang out with Charlie on Fragtober, but he's busy, and he's having issues and whatnot. I miss that dude. I hope he's doing all right.
He is
good.
He told me. He did say too that he's going to actually come out and start doing some more streaming.
Yes.
My assumption is that's with Dan Fraga, but
I hope so.
He didn't say that, but that's my assumption.
I mean, however he comes back,
Yeah. So I know things have cleared up for him in a pretty big way.
Good.
So that's fantastic, and he turned in the last page, and it was like 2 nights later. He's like, just middle of the night, I can't tell you how good I feel now that the book is finished. And
bet.
Yeah, I was like,
bet,
you and me both.
Oh, dude,
but
I'm so excited, and I'm gonna have you guys both back to talk about Fatal as well.
Would love it. Yeah, it's that one I'm really excited for. So right now it's the story, making sure it works with all the art, and because we did this Marvel method, so Charlie's really leading the way, and I've got some fun stuff in there for the writing. I leaned into the sort of the noir kind of space feel,
awesome.
like
Yes.
as far as the writing style goes. So that was really fun to do. So many fun voices in it too. Even like down some jokes in it, and I'm looking forward to people reading it.
That is exciting, man. I am super happy to hear that, because I know that it, having a late book is kind of a thorn in the side, because or an anchor, as it were. You kind of can't move forward and do things until it's done.
Yeah.
And people get what they've already paid for. So
right.
I hear you, man. I hear you. I am so fucking jazzed to hear that Charlie's going to be coming back and that he's got the book done. Again, when you talk to him next, tell him I said hi, and that I miss hanging out with him and talking with him.
Totally, I will. We've been emailing a bit more now too, because he's finished, and things in his personal life have cleared up quite a bit. So he's been more like, "Hey, what's next?" So I sent him all the book plates. He's signing those.
Awesome.
I've got prints I'm sending him pretty soon that he's signing. I've got so it'll be really fun to kind of just, now we're seeing all the little pieces come together. And
you'll be able to dive back into Fatal and promoting the book and moving forward with that as well.
Yeah, it'll be, I've already seen some more backers coming in just on my announcement that as soon as he finished the line art. So that's cool to see. But it's just such a big, over 2,000 backers. There's so many people.
That's a huge campaign, dude. But people are gonna love it. I know they're gonna love it.
I think so. I think this is gonna be one that people are going to talk about for a long time.
Nice. That's what I like to hear. Good sci-fi escapism. I know your storytelling ability from Downcast, and I've seen Charlie's storytelling ability. So putting the two of you together, I know I can't imagine it not being fucking stellar.
Yeah. And it's the plan for it is it's Fatal 1.
Yeah.
So
of course.
It's going to be probably a really long time before you see Fatal 2, but it's I like looking at the story and everything. We're like, this is how we got to do it, and I'm just really excited. There are pages I want to show too, and I'm like, I got to hold something back, So I've shown a lot, but we've got a few surprises.
That's awesome, man. I am so damn excited. Like I was super excited for this because it was you working with Donald DeLay. You keep working with some of my favorite artists, and telling cool fucking stories like this. I have no choice but to keep picking them up,
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Thank you. Yeah.
It's a good business model. It works for you, my friend.
Yeah. I know, it's like I just got to be, surround myself with talented people. And it makes things so much better. It's great.
Well, steel sharpens steel, man.
Yeah.
Like, and that's another one of the things that I love about this scene is that you see your friends making cool stuff, and you're like, oh, damn, I need to step up my game, and so you work harder, and that in turn makes them work harder, and it's just like it's a healthy competition where you're constantly sharpening on one another instead of like, I don't know, getting all salty because somebody had some success. A rising tide lifts all boats, yo.
Absolutely, yeah. And all of this is luxury. We're making comics, so it's not a pie. It's a if people
selling
want
escapism.
your book, exactly. They will find room in the budget to get another book if it's awesome. So make them awesome.
Exactly. Well, that's why you need to make your book as awesome as possible. That way, people feel justified in spending their money, on your book.
Absolutely, yeah.
Gordon Goodbrother says, "Do not sharpen on me." Okay, I won't sharpen on you specifically. Everybody else, I'm going to use to sharpen the shit out of myself. Okay, so Fatal is the next thing that's coming out because the line work is finished. Once that gets out there, what is the next thing for you, Clint? What is the next thing that you personally are working on?
Yeah,
is it another Dracula? Is it more Downcast? Is you said a while for Fatal? But...
Yeah, so it'll definitely be Downcast 4.
Awesome.
So the story continues. Downcast 3 just was received so well. I had so much fun with it. Downcast 4, I think I'm really excited about Downcast. I think
awesome.
The fact that we've got it published through Alterna Comics too, it's like, you know what, I'm gonna spend some time and make this thing exactly how I want to make it a series. We've been really taking our time on Downcast 4 because, you know, I thought I'm definitely, we got to finish Fatal before I launch it. So it is 2/3 of the way finished, which is fantastic. Yeah. So we got the last third. The different thing this time though is I've got a chapter in it that's sort of a flashback that's done by Eric Weathers doing the art.
Nice.
So
that's another person I need to reach out to. Continue.
Yeah, he killed it too. I mean, you've seen his work on Battle Brick Road.
Oh yeah, I've seen the previews. I actually have my Battle Brick Road. He's one I need to reach out to and be like, yo. I've had like I said, I've had this stack for a while and I just haven't had a chance to reach out to people, but I'm going to get through this stack, damn it.
Yeah. Totally, yeah. So he did a chapter in it. It hasn't been colored yet, but gosh, it's so good.
He's so uber talented. It's almost sickening.
Yeah. He did it's a story from the Monstro's past, but it's really important. So it's like it's in the book. It's a flashback, but it's a full 20 pages. So it's not just like a brief thing. It's like a full...
I mean, that's like a whole issue.
Yes, exactly. So like when it hits Alterna, there will be an issue that's the Eric Weathers issue.
Nice.
Yeah, so that'll be great. Nacho's back on so chapter 1 and chapter 3. Chapter 3 is going to be a little bit bigger than normal. I'm not exactly sure yet. That's the one I kind of stopped on. I've got a lot of plans, so I'm like, what do I put here and what do I put in the next one? But yeah, I'll say if you like Downcast, especially if you like Downcast 3, this one is it just ramps things up even more. So it'll be fun. And I think that's probably going to be launching late January, February. Again, I'm not in a hurry, but that's my best guess. So
right. And as far as Fatal, you know, the when are you want to get it to the printer by the end of this year? You said, right?
Yeah, I mean, realistically, and I'm really not rushing it here.
No,
I just want to make sure that I'm going over the script and the story and everything right now again and again just to make sure that it's where I want it to be. But in the meantime, I'm also getting the black and white version because there's no lettering there anyway. So I want to get that off to the printer, and realistically, I could get that to the printer probably within a week because it's ready to go. It's just getting it organized and getting the pre-press done.
Making sure that all the margins are correct and all that stuff. Yeah.
So for the main book, that one, I mean, we're getting really close. I've met with Eric last night about lettering and kind of what we want to do there. But I want to just, I'm basically just sort of tuning in the ending. And that's always, beginnings and endings are really important.
That's what people always remember the most.
Yeah, so I'm tuning the ending in, and then it'll be off to lettering. And really, it should be about Monday that Eric's gonna, do this last run of lettering, basically. Nice. So so we're in progress, and I've got editors I'm working with too. So this process is important, but it feels like it goes faster than the art, mainly because I'm involved in it now. So whereas before it's like I'm just waiting. Yep. But it goes relatively quick. So we're on the home stretch.
Dude, I am so excited. Just not just for Fatal, but for the future. Like, because you're one of those people that I've talked to. You're one of the early what's in the boxes that I did, actually. Yeah. So I mean, to see how you've expanded your brand and the different things that you've done, I think working with Pete over at Alterna is a fucking brilliant move, man. And I've said that multiple times. I think it's a brilliant move. It gets you out there to more people. It gets you in comic shops, and working with Pete, I mean, Pete's an awesome dude. I mean, I can't say enough nice things about Pete. He really genuinely cares about making good comics, and it shows in the products that he puts out.
Yeah, so, there's something about being in that Alterna family that just it's so great. I love it,
dude. Frankie Washington. Like I was working at a comic shop up in New Hampshire, and I went to a convention in Boston. And Frankie did a Storm sketch for me, on a backing board, and I think he ended up coming to the comic shop I worked at. But I've interacted with Frankie for a long time. I've known that dude since what was it, 2004? I think it was that I was up in New Hampshire and I went to that convention. Anyway, to see him working with Alterna and like doing such great stuff, that just made me fucking smile from ear to ear. Seeing somebody's name that I've known for a while and seeing him working with Pete, and doing great stuff. I don't know. I love it. It's a great time for indie comics right now, at least in my opinion.
Totally. Yeah. I love it. Seeing Frankie doing those sketch cards and
he just cranks them out too.
I know.
He's so damn talented.
He's so precise. I don't know how to say it. His inking is just so precise. And I love that he loves drawing giant monsters.
Oh yeah, he is all about the kaiju.
Thing. Yeah,
all about the kaiju. Love it. Yeah, that's good stuff. Clint, I can't not thank you enough for coming to hang out, man. It's always a blast talking with you. I enjoy the conversations that we have, talking about story, talking about this scene, and it's always nice to reconnect with, people that I've known, that I've talked to, especially since it's been a while. But dude, I'm so damn proud of you. You've been kicking ass, man, and
thank you.
Just keep putting out good work, dude. Keep doing the work that you've been doing, man. And I can't wait to wear this Dracula shirt.
Yeah. Love it. Yeah, thanks for having me on.
Absolutely.
Always good to talk to you. Yeah.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that. And listen to The Wise Feline. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. I want to thank the audience for coming to hang out with us. Before we go, oh wait, you don't have there's no trailer up here. Never mind. I was going to say, let's take a look at the campaign that I got this from, because it is still in demand. If you're interested in getting these beautiful books that I have here, which why the hell wouldn't you be? You can hit that link in the description and you yourself can get yourself some Dracula goodness. Hell, you could even still get a t-shirt if you wanted to. Yeah, for a limited time. I'm gonna close this campaign. I was actually meaning to close it last week and I didn't. So you guys are lucky. So if you're seeing this now, which is 11/3/2022, if you're seeing this now, go get yourself at least one of the covers, hardcover A or hardcover B, whichever one strikes your fancy. I had to get both because they're both badass, and Kelsey and Eric Canetti are both fucking amazing. Yeah. So, but yeah, hit the link, go grab this book. Also, if you feel so inclined, go ahead and hit up DeathMetalHero.com and you can get some merch from my store. I got beanies, t-shirts with my artwork on it and my logo and all kinds of fun stuff. Thank you, Feline. I appreciate that. Get it now! That's right. Do it now before he closes this campaign and you miss it. Because this is kind of a self-contained story, isn't it? Yes. And it's intended to kind of make you think and have so I just really had fun with horror, kind of sort of that slow burn horror is kind of what I was looking at. But it's a short story, and I don't know. Yeah, interesting to know. There may not be another one. There may not be another one, and it may not be available on any other campaigns, so get it now while you can. All right, guys, thank you so much for coming to hang out. I appreciate everybody here. Remember,
Shop smart, shop S-smart.
and we will see you next time. Later.
It seems that envy is my sin.
Oh, what's in the box? What's in the fucking box?